welcome back to Sporto. It's been what, 6 years now?
I think it's been 6 years. Yeah, it's really good to be back. It's a really excellent event. It's always extremely well run. The questions you get from the audience are much more thoughtful than you get in a lot of places. But also, I think the candy you get from presenters being out of the UK actually is much better as well. So you probably get better contributions from speakers.
Okay. Well, many things have happened to us in the meantime: pandemic, war in Ukraine. With clubs, federations, sponsors, broadcasters, we are all dealing with different reality, aren't we?
I think so. I think actually, in some ways, I'm a big believer in a phrase that Sebastian Coe, who won the bid for the London 2012 games, used when he pitched. He said, "Never let a good crisis go to waste." And I think the good side of what we're seeing now is we've all had to challenge how we work, our business models, the way we think about things. You know, we don't all need to be in the office 5 days a week, but also fans don't necessarily need to just come back to the stadium. So we need to challenge the way we do things and think differently. And maybe think about other ways we can create more sustainable businesses as a result. Well,
you're very positive and predict golden phase.
Yeah.
And that's what I like, and maybe a couple of sentences more about it. Why?
So I think from a golden age perspective, I think it is that before COVID, we were just beginning to see some really interesting things. We were beginning to see the fact that sport could apply for money from health budgets and from education budgets and prove it worked to keep us out of hospitals or to help us learn more productively in schools. So that's one side of things, which is actually sport works, and we can prove that now. Second thing is, I think that sports businesses maybe have just had to really connect to their hardcore fans in a more meaningful way on the back of the pandemic. So, for example, keeping them close during that pandemic period, and had to work out what sports teams really stand for. Run all the digital campaigns you like, but what are we here for in our communities? And so, if we can be more impactful on budgets and be more close to our local communities, we'll be okay.
Yeah, this meaning of local initiative for global landscape, let's say.
Absolutely, but if you look at some of the most successful global entities now, you look at Premier League teams or you look at leagues, you know, actually, if you think about the way the NBA expanded, they didn't just expand out of the States from an office in New York. They put offices in China, offices in Europe, and were locally relevant. And I think if you look at how some leading Premier League teams, so like a Liverpool or a Manchester United, are expanding, they're putting offices and people and connection at the heart of the way they work locally, because a big funky digital campaign isn't enough. You have to be locally relevant and meaningful as well.
You presented your new book here.
Yes.
Titled All to Play For, How Sport Can Reboot Our Future. Well, the title says a lot, but of course not all. To whom is it intended?
I guess it's extended for the sports industry, but outside of the sports industry too. So just to help people who think, you know, what does sport really mean to me, and are interested about the fact that they might go for a run and feel better or work more effectively at work, or might find that actually they can row away from diabetes because they're active. So everyone is just interested in the role that sport plays in community. Some of those in the sport industry and some outside as well.